Yeah.
Yes.
We're ready.
Oh, wow.
Ready.
Is this like because it says this hangout is on the air live. It's kind of different from the way it was. Are they heading us towards that new version or whatever? What is it? Google Duo, I think is what they're calling it.
Yeah, it's Google Duo and something else.
But it's kind of neat. It's the different. It says Google. Oh, okay. Hangouts on air is going away later this year for a quick look or for quick streaming try. It's just called YouTube. Oh wow, webcam. So they're going to do something in partnership with YouTube, or do they own YouTube? Is that how it goes?
Yeah. Google YouTube.
Okay, so they're just going to use they're going to get rid of this and integrate everything into YouTube because it's called YouTube webcam.
Well, you know what the thing was? Hangouts came out of Google Plus, and Google Plus is killed off. But it was part of Google Plus at one point.
Okay, so I just wanted to give everybody a heads up. We were kind of rambling, and I kind of, you know how I am when I see something fluttery in front of me, I get lost. But anyway, I wanted to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. True Drone Reviews, Bryan's in the house, Curtis Dart, Mike Roche Studios, Nemo said hey to everybody, Above and Beyond Drones, Parks and Tech, FSU grad. Glad to see everybody. Here we are in Drone Therapy, Season 3, Episode 8. The John Cuppi Housewarming Special. And I'm joined by my co-hosts, Mr. Ron Brown, Mr. Nemo Edwards, Bryan KwadFather, and the man himself, the man of the hour, John Cuppi.
Thanks.
Welcome back.
Thanks, guys.
Yay!
Guys, your eyes are all awesome. And now I'm going to squeeze the little head to celebrate. Just gonna squeeze that little head.
Yes,
we haven't had a good season weeks.
Remember, if your Tiny Hawk camera pops out, which it will, it's guaranteed to, you don't need to take this whole thing apart. You just squeeze that little head and use tweezers and put that camera back.
As a matter of fact, you can say, where is it? Come on, where is it? Oh,
Tiny Hawk, why they fixed it now, John.
What?
I got the Tiny Hawk Esslin the way they fixed that camera problem. No more squeezing.
Oh, they did.
Oh, you ordered one? Huh? Did you go ahead and order an S?
I'm kind of just halfway joking, but I ordered one now. And I'm going to order one. I'm going to fly down to North Carolina, and Nemo's going to personally train me on acro flying.
I will definitely do that. That's a promise.
What do you charge? About $100 an hour, or
for you, Ron? Even though you're not a Yankees fan, I'll do it for free.
Oh, okay.
I just want to film it.
There you go.
Okay. You'll get 2 views.
Okay, so we're into the craziness. We want to, because everybody knows that there's been some rumors floating around that the drone that was supposedly coming out is no longer coming out and hum and haw. And before we get to that, I had kind of gave them some of the drone news that I had found. And what was it you said? We were the National Enquirer of drone news. So that's what we're coming up with. So first up, Walmart has actually filed more drone patents than Amazon this year. So while Walmart has filed 56 patents to Amazon's 54. For what be that, that just, I guess they're trying to get as many birds in the air and testing done, because something that comes along here in a minute, which I will switch over to, Amazon has also come out with their new plans for a delivery drone. They've scrapped the earlier drone, and now they have one called the MK27, which is going to be the prime air delivery drone, and they're expecting to be in the air within the next 2 years. So we'll see. Some people are saying no, some people are saying yes. On with the news. So apparently not just in the UK or in France or in the US are drones to be bothersome to airports. As recently in Singapore, as little as 10 to 11 hours ago, a drone was spotted over the vicinity, near the vicinity of the airport, and they had to shut down one runway, which affected 40 flights out of the airport. Okay, another thing on the good side is now there is a mosquito killing drone that is going to be flying in northwest Montana. It's going to be armed with a sprayer so that it can actually spray the larvae before they actually become full-grown mosquitoes and can attack and suck everybody's blood. And then my last little bit of news that I came up with for the National Enquirer Drone Therapy News is that the Army has swarms of what they can call howler drones that can actually attack and force down enemy drones, which means even commercial drones, I would assume, if necessary. So they're going to be putting those into use into the field and doing all kinds of wild and crazy stuff with them. And so after I be saying that, I will hand it over to Ron Brown. Got anything to add to this in fun news?
Thank you, Bill. I want to welcome everybody to chat tonight. I'm glad to see everybody's in here tonight. We got a great panel. We got John back with us. It's going to be a great show. And we have reporters out in the field right now verifying all these stories that Bill just covered. So we'll get to the bottom of all these stories. And on that note, I'm going to pass it over to John.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to bounce off of what Bill was saying about the Army. Just a quick note. Today, Raytheon and AirMap are collaborating on safe drone integration. So those two are now joined together. They've announced that they've signed an agreement to collaborate on future projects to safely integrate UAS into national airspace. So definitely some developments there. They've got they call it the STARS system, and they're going to be trying to do some integration between sequencing guidance for 40,000 departing and arriving drones. Sorry, not drones, planes.
I wanted to go back and there's some
Imagine that 40,000 drones. That would be wild, huh? Yeah, they're arriving and departing. I was just thinking about that.
That's the whole Walmart drone aisle in the air.
Oh God, yeah, the whole Walmart drone aisle.
Okay, I just wanted to. There's some interesting comments. Curtis, Mike Roche had actually sent a question to Curtis Starr asking he would be interested in the thoughts on not only what Curtis thought, but what we thought about the future of live streaming is, as it seems to be becoming reality TV for everybody. Drone Worship the Executioner says he's here in search of Russian collusion pertaining to Bill the Drone Reviewer. Has anyone seen any Russian collusion lately? Okay. Parks and Tech, Rod Brown, KwadFather, Coast to Coast. Thank you very much, Parks and Tech. Glad to see you here. Art's in the house. Everybody glad to see Art. If you haven't checked out Art, please go by and check out Art out. If you haven't checked everybody else's channel out, please go and check them out too. I can see another interesting comment from Drone Worship the Executioner. It says, I think Bill the Drone Reviewer should change his name to Bill the Fart Reviewer. What do you guys think?
Now that's a bit much.
Well, I just was reading out the damn, the gosh darn comments.
So about the live stream stuff, obviously things are changing.
Okay, we're caught up now. And Curtis says he's not sure about the subject matter tonight, but let's see what they say. We don't really, we were talking about, like I said, I had talked about the little brief new tidbits. Ron Brown actually has an interesting bit of software I will throw it back to him about, and he's going to bring up that he's been playing with something and it has a lot of power. And Ron.
Thank you, Bill. Before I jump into LumaFusion, I'll give the teaser there. We're back to the, what did you say the Google's new streaming software is going to be called when Hangouts goes away?
It's going to go to YouTube webcam is what it says. Actually, it's got youtube.com with a /webcam. So I guess they're going to drive us all over to YouTube. Yeah. And just
now, let's speculate a little bit, and maybe if anybody in the chat is a beta tester or whatever, do you think this new streaming software from YouTube will be actually better than Hangouts? Maybe it'll even have some of the features that Bill. What's the software you want to use to improve the show where we have more graphics?
Well, I mean, we could use basic OBS, but I play around with Streamlabs because I figured it would be easier for beginners to get into, and it's free.
Right.
So,
Yeah, where I'm going with this, Bill, is maybe this new YouTube streaming software will incorporate some of those higher end features in it and actually be an upgrade over Hangouts. I mean, it's going backwards.
What the hell is that? Is there like a bee in there?
Something, man.
A spider or some shit?
That was hilarious, man.
That's one of those little drones.
Just get it.
Anybody have one of those?
Like that.
Those drones that kill mosquitoes? I would love to fly one right now.
All right. Okay. All right. Before we go into giving, and Dan, Ron brought this up before we went live. It was just something he wanted to briefly talk about. But before we do that, Bryan, would you please show us what you're working on so intently there? As you showed us before we went live, I'd like everybody else to see. Look at this. Oh, man, those ports are so huge, man. The ducks are like, it has massive ducts.
Well, it will be running 1407 3500 kV motors or 3-inch props. Get nice and tight down in the ducts there.
Ooh, nice.
We have a Mamba mini stack rocking a 25 by 4 amp ESC capable of D-Shot 600. We shall see what she will do in the future. Hopefully it's some super steady cinematic Cinewhoop sweet goodness.
Yes, that's something that fascinates me. Curtis had posted a link like last week when we were looking about it, and it was a really cool Cinewhoop 4K with EIS in it. So that was really, really nice. Mikey B is in here. And Dan, come on, stop saying goodbye, cruel world. You know you're always welcome here, even when you raise hell. So just hang out and talk about stuff. We don't really.
Bill, before you move on, Parks and Techs said that looks awesome to the big ducks. And he said, are those cases 3D printed?
The entire frame is 3D printed. The whole thing's 3D printed.
Oh, wow. That's a.
I want to know, what printer did you use to print that? Was that the Ender?
Yeah, that was.
I actually I won this on a contest through Instagram. There was a guy doing a giveaway, and I guess I was the lucky one that won the prize. And he contacted me and sent me everything, and which is great. I'm that guy that never wins. So
that's so cool, man.
And you know, it's going to end up being my first build, which is going to be big for me because I feel like I'm missing out on that part of the hobby.
You are, definitely.
Hey, Bill, Curtis has a question too in the chat.
Oh no, he was just saying that I didn't see that he had a question. He was just saying that the software is not going to be upgraded to where we can do cool stuff like.
Oh, there was going to be graphics. Okay.
Yeah, the bad thing about that is what I'm wondering: are they going to try to do away with like stream keys and stuff and force everybody to use this other software or something? Oh yeah. There's the link that he was talking about. 6 months ago, working off the devil's dandruff. 3 shots of tequila.
Curtis linked to the Cinebee, I think it is. Let me see.
Yeah, that's the one that we saw. They showed us last week. That's an awesome little drone.
Yeah, I want that one pretty bad. It is pretty badass.
Yeah, I'm gonna. John, you get it. I'm gonna get it.
All right. Ron. And apparently, since Mike wants to mess with Dan, go ahead and tell us about LumaFusion.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, tell us about it because I don't know what it is. Legitimately,
LumaFusion is. I mean, there's a whole bunch of editing apps for your mobile phone, iPads, Android pads, whatever they call the Android tablets. But most of them are simple. They don't allow you to put multiple streams in at once, and this has, I think, 6. You can put 6 layers of video, 6 layers of audio, do all sorts of adjustments. You can color correct. I don't think there's another mobile editor that allows you to color correct. I mean, more than just add a filter, which isn't color correcting to me. I mean, here I have it up on the screen here. This is just like the base screen with all your clips you bring in, and then your your viewer, and then your different clips you have in here. I don't have anything double, triple. 6 stacks below. With above would be video, and below would be the audio. But again, I've just started playing with it today. I think it's regularly $19.99. It's on sale for $14.99 right now. And I believe it's iOS and Android, but I can't say 100% on that. But I'm sure it's for Android also. But I've never seen anything on a tablet that's this powerful. Ken Dono has made a video about it. He is very high on this software, and I follow another YouTuber, guy in South Africa. I can't remember his channel's name now, but he's been talking about it for a while. He's been telling me I should get it. So he doesn't have a computer. He edits all his video on with this app on a mobile device and YouTube, and he does a lot with Instagram, the IGTV and Instagram video, and so you can even do the vertical videos and edit them on here too. But I mean, you could put graphics in. It just has all the effects that you would find in Premiere or Final Cut. Well, I'd say all, but the majority of them are on this mobile device. But here's the real killer. It doesn't do 1080p. I do 4K 30 in this thing, and I don't see any lag at all. And this is the iPad Pro, the original iPad Pro, which is like 3 years old at this point. So this
I was going to ask that.
And any new hyped up, processor. This is the old one. I went through the 4K video as fast as I could do on my my MacBook Pro.
Nice.
Yeah, I was amazed. And if you have the Apple Pencil, which is one of those things that it sounds real neat, but when you get it, you never actually use it. It's really handy on here to move files around and do cuts, precision cuts, and so on. So I finally found a real use for the Apple Pencil here.
Let me ask you a question real quick about that software.
Go ahead, Brian.
What type of stability algorithms do they have? Is there any kind of stability for the video?
I haven't seen if you can apply electronic stabilization yet. I mean, I just started playing with it today, but guess what? I will get back to you on that when I do discover it. But I haven't seen it yet, but I haven't looked for it yet either. The video I started out with didn't need any image stabilization. It was a ground-based video.
Yeah.
But I will get back to you on that.
I'm sorry, he lost me. I just was keeping up with the chat and everything. It sounds like great software. I've never really played with it or anything. But Dan's earlier comment lost me, but this last one was kind of cool. It was, don't let LumaFusion distract you from the truth. It's a mind control device that is meant to take you back to the future, then back to the present, past, then somewhere in the future of present.
That
sounds great to me, man. I want that.
Can we get the lottery numbers ahead of time that way?
Ooh.
Wanted to give another shout out to Austin Blakely was in here and says, I guess he was saying B-Rye. Pete Carroll was also saying earlier that he believed it was an iOS app that you couldn't use it on like Android or anything yet. Maybe not.
I'm sorry.
RC Dude FPV UK in the house. I'm glad to see you all were chatting with him earlier. I just didn't get to holler out to him. Curtis, what was Curtis talking about? Playing with. Oh, Curtis is actually playing with it. He said he doesn't see a way to add guests. It's a solo thing.
Hey, Bill, before I wrap, I want to wrap up. We'll move on to the next topic, and I want to hit Nemo up on this. I did find a way. You can make your edit on here, right? And even if it's something you can't do in here, you could save it out as an XML file and airdrop it to your Mac and finish it in Final Cut.
Ooh.
Wow.
So you see the beauty. You could be, whatever. You could go out, fly, do whatever. You could be sitting in the, your coffee shop and doing your rough edit or whatever, and then you go home and transfer the file to your big 27-inch 5K iMac, send it right to iMovie, and finish the edit.
That is really cool, man.
That does sound good.
If you owned Apple products,
Mac universe here, but
Yeah.
I know Nemo uses the big hardware background, and so
that is correct.
Yeah.
Team Apple over here.
Do you have an iPhone also?
I sure do.
So this would work on a phone too, the LumaFusion. So you could start on your phone, make the rough edit, send it to the big iMac, and finish it off on that big 5K 27-inch IMAX screen.
That sounds interesting. I saw it. It kind of looks like it's set up like Final Cut. It's got the different things you add into the timeline and stuff like that. It's pretty neat.
Hey, Bill, maybe in a future episode we get Ken Dono on to talk about it.
Ken's always welcome to come on. I've told him before he was welcome to come on. That's cool. I'm not saying anybody can or can't come on. I was kind of curious. Wanted to give another shout out into the chat saying Sky Pilot came in. Wanted to say howdy back to you. He uses Android. Art says he's going to bed, so he's going to take off. Mike's got the iPhone there, so let's get us up to date there. But yeah, I'm open to having. I was actually thinking about maybe asking Jeff Seals, because he does all the repair work with like the DJI type drones and stuff. I thought it'd be kind of cool to have him with these gearheads and have them kind of talk about stuff and how the inner workings went. And maybe that was kind of be a cool episode. What y'all think of that?
Sounds real good.
That would be cool.
I thought that. I don't know. I haven't asked him yet because I know he's really busy because he does the news and stuff for Ken. Plus, he's got his own web page and everything. But I thought he would make a cool guest, especially with like a bunch of people who are kind of mainly FPV, and he does a lot of like DJI repair work and stuff. And I thought it would be kind of cool to compare what components were within each.
Hey, Bill, we got an update here. But Mike Roach, he says he's used LumaFusion for some time now, and he loves it.
Oh, very cool. And Marcus just popped in, said he wanted to come in and say howdy. He was in Las Vegas and was getting ready to go out to dinner and go ahead and win a lot of money so you can buy us all the new expensive DJI drones, since we don't have any others to look forward to this summer, apparently.
Maybe. Don't put your head down, Bill. There's still hope yet.
Well, since I was using that as a segue, obviously.
Yeah, pretty good. That was a good one. That was good.
So that's the thing we're going to talk about. Over the past month and a half, we've had a lot of people talking about that there is a Spark 2, there isn't a Spark 2. We've had people on different sides of the fence saying, oh, rumors are terrible, rumors. And I'm like, man, the whole point is it's like when you go buy a lottery ticket, your whole day's planned. You know you're not going to win the damn thing, but you're sitting there all day long thinking about the ways you're going to spend that money if by some weird chance you win. So that's all we do with the drone rumors. It's just saying, just like people get, I was talking to John earlier today, people will get burned out on a phone, even though it still performs perfectly well. It does everything it's expected to do, but there's a new phone out with 3 cameras instead of 1, and you want it. And in my opinion is maybe, I wish. I'm not saying that I know there's a Spark 2 coming out. I'm just saying I wish that there was. That's just me. So with that being said, what would you do? Or what would you think?
I'm the same way as Bill. When I say stuff's coming out, I don't know that's coming out. I'm just wishing it's coming out. All my speculation is what I wish for myself. Facts to the window, whatever. But you know what? Look what behind me. I think the Spark 2 just got delivered. They did a total redesign on it. Yeah, or maybe this is one of those military drones that flew in when I wasn't looking.
Is that the Skeeter drone?
I believe that's the one that was in Bryan after Bryan. It probably went from North Carolina to New Jersey. It's just what it was.
Wait a minute. Greg Pittman just said he looked it up on Play Store and LumaFusion has a free trial. Is that?
Oh.
So wow. Okay, Mike. So Mike, wait a minute. That's because he's being mind controlled by the LumaFusion team. Check his credit card statement. There's definitely Russian collusion activity there.
Oh my goodness.
Well, we don't.
Oh my goodness.
We don't know where LumaFusion is developed at. It could be China too. They could be spying on LumaFusion with the DJI drones. Oh, that's a story. Bill, that's a story. Somebody from DJI just said today that the data from the drones stays with us. I just saw that today. That was a real news story. I don't have a link, but it was a real news story. It was some guy that looked like he worked for DJI. The data stays with us.
Oh yeah. You posted. I saw you post that. Said, but I don't know. It doesn't. Why should they have to come out and say that? There's obviously something somewhere that has triggered someone to think that there was issues with that. I don't think that somebody just speculated it and ran with it. I think there's a little bit more. I don't see our government coming out and saying that they had issues with the data transfers.
It has to do a lot with what was found. I think if it wasn't last summer, it was a couple summers ago when people started looking at the Mavic really closely, and they figured out that, hey, we can hack this thing. We can get inside of here. We can start messing with the app, changing the code, seeing how it works. And there were some things there that were discovered that were not so good. There were hooks in the which were actually against Apple's rules. And
wow.
what?
You froze for a second and then you came back. It was really, we thought we were going to drop you and then you just came back.
Weird.
It was really wild. Really
That's
quick,
weird.
not to lose your thought, but Ryan dropped in, wanted to say hi to RD Drone Reviews. What's up, Ryan? Cold War Television dropped in. They uses LumaFusion also. Yes, and Marcus is still in Las Vegas winning the big money to start the new U.S. drone company, Marco Incorporated.
He's at the roulette table right now.
Hey, I heard an interesting rumor. I saw a video the other day of a guy talking about somehow a guy had questioned about the karma and it sent GoPro a few messages and stuff, and that they somehow gathered that they were in development of the Karma 2.
And then GoPro came out and said, "We are not developing a new drone."
Did that come out since that video?
Did they come out?
It was
they did. They came out like 2 or 3 hours after that and said, "We're not developing a new drone."
But what happened? Somebody that worked for GoPro told somebody about that, and a YouTuber that will go nameless ran with the story or whatever.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, going back to the Spark issue, Drone DJ and a couple other people had said that, yes, there was a Spark 2. Of course, everybody's got their own DJI insider, apparently. Mm-hmm. So I was just going from a logical standpoint. Like John and I were talking about earlier, John's theory. Okay, I'm not going to tell John's theory, but my theory is that people are always craving something new, and if you throw something new at them, no matter how saturated the market is, it's going to get sales. That's my theory, especially here in the U.S. because we like shiny new things. We always do, and that's just my opinion personally. So I'm thinking. I always thought that, yes, they were either making a new melding of the Mavic Air and the Spark to come up with a new Spark, because I just like the Spark name, the DJI Spark, better than Mavic Air. I don't think the Mavic Air should be in the Mavic area. It should just be Air, DJI Air. It doesn't have... I guess just because it's foldable is the reason they threw Mavic on it and try to get some name recognition to get people to buy it. That's why I call it the platypus. Is just my opinion, because they heard all the people that were griping about Spark and what they wanted from Spark. So they just threw it all into this drone. So, and they had to put it out because they had that research, that time, that money. So they had to put it out or lose even more money. So my theory is that I wrote down 3 things, is either sales are so fantastic for DJI, they don't need to make any new drones because they're making buku money anyway. Okay. And second, it's because of the tariffs and stuff, and it's just not cost effective for them to bring anything new into the country right now. Or they already know within the matter of the next 2 to 4 years, there will be no consumer drones in the air. So they're getting out of the business now. I don't know. So that's just all the stuff that kind of rambled through my brain. And I will throw it to John Cuppi, and he can give his thoughts.
So my thought is that we don't really know if it was truly ready for release or not. So that might have been a large reason for the postponement. Obviously, DJI has their engineers working in other areas. We've got the DJI robot. We've got the camera. So if it wasn't as done by this time as they thought they were going to have it done by, then maybe they just decided, yeah, we're not going to bother with it for now. You know, they have investors to answer for. I would have a really, really hard time believing that if they really did have this thing ready to go, all done, all that time and effort into research and development fully, that they would just be like, nah, we're gonna drop it. We're just gonna drop it entirely. I just have a really hard time believing that.
I wanted to go back into the chat real quick. See, Sleeping Bear came in, and no, it's not just an American thing. And you don't have to take Curtis's wrench. I'll give you one. That's cool. Just don't want to have. I don't want to do like have everybody in here with wrenches, and then everybody be like, and go back and say original Dobo came in the house. He put some colorful comments. Said he had some T-shirts for free. Just send him a mailing address. So I guess get up with Ken Dono and do that. Mike Birdman is in the house. You've been here for a while. I just wanted to go back and say, yes, I noticed you. I'm sorry I forgot and got to rambling and didn't get to mention your name. And Johnny Drone Flyer came in and said hi all to everybody. And then we'll go to Nemo and see what your thoughts are on this DJI thing, or you just want to say FPV.
I'll say it like this. I think a lot of people, and not just in the GPS market or sector or whatever you want to call it of the hobby, but also people in FPV, they're kind of spoiled. There's so much coming out that every year we're expecting, all right, well, we need something new, and they know they got us because we're men and we're going to want the latest and the greatest, and we're going to get mad if we don't get what we want. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. I mean, it's just we've been spoiled thus far, and it's just a matter of, you know, hey, let's fly what we got until something new comes out. But I get it. I totally get it. I get being upset. I get like, yeah, I want this, I want that, I want this new thing to come out. I'm waiting on a new frame from Impulse RC. It's not out.
The blue one?
Say what?
The blue one?
No, the blue one is not new. I'm talking about the Apex. It's a brand new frame.
Okay.
And I'm dying for it, but it hasn't come out. But I want it, and I want it now. I'm going to be upset if I don't get it. So
okay, but something quick that I've noticed, and I saw, Dono, you got to be like maybe 15, 20 miles away from me unless you flew straight onto Alaska. Because he like landed in Seattle today, and I'm only like 20 miles north of Seattle. He posted something. The Evo guy said he was some S curves or something. So because there's a lot of cool mountains and stuff back over that way, I didn't know. Of course, him and Dan are having their little fight in the chat here. So you all have at it. That's cool. Oh, very cool. Oh, great place. Very cool. Awesome. Let's see.
What? Never
no,
mind.
He said he's at Pier 66, so I know exactly where he's at right now. Anyway, Anyway, so back to that stuff. Phantom 5 Pro, no. I don't know about that one.
Wow.
Phantom for Louisiana, it's all good. Oh,
some form of therapy is going down in the chat.
Curtis wants a red wrench. Maybe they'll have that in the new YouTube webcam. So
I think we all just
coming to a channel near you soon. We kind of lost Steve. Everybody got to win a credit. Part 2. Then what do we talk about?
Bill, let me speculate for a little bit.
All right, go for it.
So we're back to the famous Spark 2. And the article we're referring to said that it was scheduled to be released in late July. I'll make a date up. July 20th. It was something in the 20s, and it was canceled and pushed back, and no reason was given. Okay, so that's maybe true, maybe not true, but what we do know is about a week ago. Well, let's go back maybe 2 weeks. We knew the DJI put the Mavic Air on sale for $6.79, down from $7.99 for a summer sale. And then about a week later, a big retailer in the U.S., Target, everybody knows Target, everybody's got a Target somewhere near the house. They dropped the price of the Mavic Air all the way down to $549. That's what's the math there? Like $250 off or whatever. Huge discount. And they cleared inventory. Somebody on Facebook, and they posted in, I'm sure in Drone Coast to Coast Drone, some other groups, somebody actually got one for $399. They posted a picture of the price on the box on the shelf. So for some reason, Target just cleared their inventory of these Mavic Airs. So is that because they're making room for a new drone? The stock, the warehouse, and the shelves coming soon? And that's one. Bill had a couple things. That's speculation number one. Now, I have a friend of mine, Jet Martin, out of San Diego. He's regular in the Xeno Nation show Monday nights. He talked to somebody at Parrot, and they told him that in July, a Nafi 2 would come out, version 2 would come out. Now, is this a repeat of last summer when DJI got wind of an upgraded Parrot product and push theirs back so they can put whatever features on the Spark that this Nafi version 2 shows up with in July? I mean, this is crazy speculation, but DJI
is do you know what? DJI is an aggressive company, and they will do whatever it takes to make sure that they are on top. They have certainly used tactics to try to wipe competitors out before. So, again, it could be something like that. Their reasons for not releasing don't have to necessarily be, negative, that, the consumer drone market might be dead in 2 years. And they're just like, yeah, we can't do it. I'm not trying to bash you, Bill, but just, I feel like.
No, Bryan Singleton put the best one I've seen yet in there. He said, wait, did DJI break wind? So every time DJI farts, there's like 1 million live streams, and we all start speculating, and we all start talking about it. Yes, hey, RM photos. We don't need to hide that. I'm going to go ahead and show that because I'm fat too, and as you can see, I'm now modeling the John Cuppi T-shirt. As you can see, Nemo Edwards has one on too, and I will now place the link. It's very inexpensively priced, and it will help support John Cuppi in his drive to get furniture for the house.
Yes, because the house is empty. You can hear the echo, guys.
We only profit really 33 cents a T-shirt. So but yes, we are modeling them. They are real, and they're actually, considering it was made in Ethiopia, it's much more comfortable than I thought it would be. And I don't mean that. I don't mean that in a bad way. I thought because it was going to be like, it's kind of thin, but I thought it was going to be like see-through and stuff, but it's not, and it's very breathable.
It is. It's very nice. Very nice.
Yes,
and we don't need to see Bill in a see-through.
Yeah. No. Well, at least not without you all having dollar bills in your hand.
On second thought, I don't know. This is a pretty nice place to whoop without all that furniture out. I mean, there's a lot less that you can hit.
That's something else.
Maybe I want to keep it empty.
That's something else I was talking about before we went live, that we needed to change the Devo song from whip it to whoop it. Whoop it good, And then, okay, and something else is if anybody that's trying to chat, we're going to try to notice. We're going to try to notice the clean and good chat. But this is drone therapy. This is the place where people can vent and get their anxieties out. We're not going to hold that against you.
There's a lot of shit going on in the chat. I mean, there's.
Well, no, it's only between like 2 or 3 people. So I'm just like, if that's what they want to do, we're going to try to notice the stuff talking about drones. And if there's a really good, clean rip on somebody, then yeah, we'll call it out. But I'm not going to, I'm not going to. So you all just go ahead.
There's a shot on people that wear glasses right there.
Whoa.
I wear glasses so bad.
What do you mean? Hey, you know what? I support an industry. It's the American way. So there you go. I wear glasses, and that keeps a lot of people employed, and it gives them the money to buy new drones. And that's why we're here, drone therapy. Because when you're having a bad day and you're really feeling down in the dumps, there's nothing that makes you feel better than putting a drone in the air or apparently bickering in chat. So go ahead. That's what I said. Get it out, guys. Other than that, yes. Let's see. We're going back to some good chat here. I see. Whoop it good.
Whoop it, whoop good. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, Walmart glasses rule. There you go. You get like
Walmart glasses.
Because you go to that shelf and there's like, what is it? The 2 times, the 4 times, and the 8 times. And you're like, I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, they're going to be right beside the drones here soon.
Yeah,
drones.
They have almost as many eyeglass patents as they do drone patents.
Oh, okay. There's a good subject. RM Photo said, who is going to spin up? I would love to go, but for me, the flight is what kills me. It's so expensive.
The real flight?
Huh?
The drone flight or the real flight?
No, the plane flight is just so expensive for me. Because like I said, if you figure, okay, I would have to fly from Seattle to Texas. That's like even a coach seat's like $650-700 for me. You know. So, and then you figure when I get there, I'm going to have to get a room. And even though Kelly's going to work out a deal on the rooms, it's still not going to be cheap. Then you're going to have to get, because the event's like 15 or 20 miles away from the airport, you're going to have to rent a car. I know he's furnishing lunch and breakfast and lunch, I think.
That's cool of him.
And then but yeah, it's awesome what he's doing.
Kelly's a great guy. He really
yeah,
is.
I mean, he's bending over backwards to make a killer event, but it's just the plane is what, the airfare is what's smacking me in the head. I mean, if I could get a deal for like, $400-500, round trip, that would be okay. But, and I hate sitting in them little coach seats here like this. And because when I went to Hawaii, there was a really big dude next to me. The kind of guy that I was like, no, man, it's okay. I'll sit like this.
Okay.
That kind of a dude.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I'm going.
What offline?
Go ahead.
I was just looking at the chat to see who I was going crazy.
Ryan says he loves the show tonight, Bill. It's a great show. We've got 2 shows going on, actually.
Yeah, it is. We've
got the text show. We've got the video show going on.
Oh no, and Curtis came up with something. Yes, Curtis. I was down that way Monday, but I was just so tired because my grandson's graduation was at 9 a.m. So we left Everett at like 7 and drove through city traffic to get to Kent, which is on the other side. We got there in time to see him come walk in and graduate, which is really cool. So, but I meant to call Curtis and be like, hey, why don't you take off work early? We'll go fly. But we ended up just driving home and passing out because we were so dead. Oh, and back to, oh wow, they're just raging, aren't they? Okay, but yeah, back to the.
I can't help it. I just can't help it.
Can you imagine?
Oh my God.
We need to keep this in replay too. It's like the chat's unreal, the show's unreal. You can actually watch 2 shows at once. It's so difficult to take and
I know. What live stream can you get 2 shows for the price of one? I mean, go buy a shirt. I need furniture.
No. It's the show for the hearing impaired. It's the show for the hearing impaired. And I'm not.
Now we're all inclusive. We're all inclusive now.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Back to the real show here. Did anybody get to fly today? Nemo, did you?
Yes, I did. Sorry. Yes, I did.
Who flew, Bryan or Nemo?
Flew in my driveway.
Really?
Hey, that's something that counts.
What'd you
Yeah, line of sight. I was just test hovering because I recently went and flew inside of a pine tree farm where there was a bunch of pine trees in a row for a bunch of rows. Took a big smack off of a branch as I was powering up through treetop canopy and got stuck in the tree, and thanks for turtle mode, and brought myself down. And
this is the part where Bill flies a drone randomly, just like while someone's talking.
Go ahead, Brian. Build it the whole time.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
No, go ahead.
It was.
Now you flew in the driveway and you did what?
I was just test hovering to make sure everything was okay
What were
because
you flying?
back out of the tree.
What were you flying?
Tyrant, the GT Tyrant.
What size is that? Drone is that?
It's a 5-inch mini quad.
Okay.
I have a question. Why do they call them mini quads? I don't get it.
I don't either. I don't understand it because I think of a mini quad. I think of a tiny.
Yeah, me too.
Is it close enough? Can you hold it on screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, something.
Yeah, let's stick it out.
While Brian's grabbing something, explain what a toothpick frame is to me, like an H frame, X frame, and what they are. Oh, wait, Brian, hang on.
The 5-inch props, 5 inches from the diameter. It's a 5-inch prop. This is actually a 5.1 that you get the point.
Right.
This is a True X, if I'm not mistaken. I think
it's got noise reduction props on it too. Look at that. Look at the little nipples, man. Like off of a DJI silence. Or is that? Have those been on those props for a while?
Those are Gem fans, right?
Yeah, they're the Gem Fan Flash 5140.
Yeah.
Okay, do they make a lot of noise or are they pretty quiet?
These are actually pretty quiet.
Okay, but you know how the noise reduction DJI props have that little hook on the end like that?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, was it already on FPV drones and they just figured it out? Or did they take it from DJI and put it on those drones?
Now, I believe it was on some of the old racecraft props, if I'm not mistaken. The older racecraft, didn't they used to have little nip on them? Nemo?
Little nipples?
They did. Yeah, racecraft.
Yeah. Seems like I remember racecraft having them. Racecraft was an old brand. I mean, I think they're still around, but
They are.
used kind of more into racing, I think.
Who, me?
No, trees.
Oh.
Interestingly, on the Diatone, it was originally shipping with 3052 props, but these are 3028. I've never seen that size before. And when I search for that size, these are the only ones that come up. They're a really interesting size prop and pitch, I guess. Seems to be a newer prop from Gem Fan.
Well, that really low pitch would give you a little bit more light, wouldn't it?
It is. It flies good. I like these. I really like these props. I'm gonna order a bunch more because they only give you one set in the freaking box. So if I break them, I'm done. But Gem Fan makes great props.
So what kind of frame is that, John?
This frame, it's an X frame. I don't know if it's a true X frame. It doesn't look like it.
Okay, so like I was asking a minute ago, what's like a toothpick frame? And
this is a toothpick frame.
You got toothpick.
Why is it called a toothpick? Just because it's so slender, or
no? It's called a toothpick because Bob Ruge, the guy that designed this, is a dentist, and all of his frames are named after something from the dentistry field. He has a floss frame, he has a tooth fairy frame, and he has now the toothpick, which was basically designed to take the guts of a mobula and put into it and make it fly a lot better, a lot lighter. It's a lot lighter. It's the goal of these is to go with ultra light, and I heard they fly really good. I have not finished because I'm flying the 5-inch, the big boys. That's more of a I can't go anywhere, so I'll fly this around the house. But I hear they fly really good.
Nemo, what motors have you got on there? I'm kind of curious because I have a Happy Model Sailfly X on the way, and if I really like it, I would like to actually do a build because I'm sure whatever I build would probably be better than Happy Models.
I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna love the Sailfly X right now. I'll just tell you that. It's amazing.
Guy I saw on your channel, he has it, and it's pretty freaking
The range
cool, right?
was great on it, man. The range.
Yeah, it's amazing.
These motors are actually from a Beta 85 XD
Okay.
that the ESCs burned up. I don't know if they actually still work, but I just stuck them on here because I had them. I'm like, hey, those would be perfect for the toothpick. So I haven't really dived into this too much, but I will eventually.
Couple of cool things back in the chat. I can see Ryan from RD Drone Reviews is talking about he can't wait till he gets his diatone. Sleeping Bear said which one he wanted, a 3-inch. So something cool to talk about and throw out there, and maybe get a or a belch, either one.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, perfectly good. I was just trying to throw something else into the chat, you know, and or into what you all were discussing, so that we could kind of get some more drone flow going.
Well, actually, just to go back to the toothpick, this uses a whoop size flight controller. This is the controller. This is the Beta FPV. This is the one I was going to put on it. So this is not a 20 by 20. I think it's a 16 by 16. Am I correct in that, John? Do you know?
I don't know. I really haven't looked into the toothpicks too much. I wanted to ask, is that an F4 board?
Yes, it is.
Okay. See, you're gonna have to let me.
OSD, everything.
You're gonna have to let us know how you get on with that, because I don't know if you've heard, but the Crazy Bee F4 has been pretty infamous for burning up, especially with the Mobulus 7 HD. They actually took down the motor KV from 10,000 down to 9,000 for the second production batch because the FETs were still burning up. And then apparently that still hasn't worked. That Crazy Bee board is still blowing up. And we've got the UAV 85, which is not necessarily a toothpick build, but again, it's another quad in this similar class. And I've been hearing that's been burning up here and there too. So there are a lot of people that are pissed off about that Crazy Bee F4 board. So it's interesting to see something different that might be more robust. They really need to do a revision of it already.
Actually, GEP-RC came out with one that's supposedly doing pretty good from what I hear.
They did. They did.
Yes. Also, Bill, you can take that your Tiny Hawk. Rugi makes the toothpick frame for the Tiny Hawk as well.
I'm sorry. Yes, and Curtis has posted a couple cool links also. One of them was about the new streaming from YouTube and stuff. And Bryan from True Drone Reviews said that John Cuppi talks too much. That's why I wanted to throw that one in there. It's kind of funny. Everything else is kind of good, except for the usual therapy session. This was fine. You all get into that self-therapy. That's fantastic. We'll let y'all have the fun there and everything. And it makes it entertaining for people because they'll be trying to watch the show and then they'll be looking at the chat, trying to watch the show and looking at chat, trying to look at the show and watch the chat. And we've even come up with another brand new t-shirt, inexpensively priced, the new drone therapy t-shirt for 2019. Right there, just posted in the chat so that you can check it out too. Like I said, inexpensively priced. I do believe only $16 on nice thread just like this. Pretty cool shirt and everything. Check it out. And if you haven't, I don't know what to say.
I'm wondering if anyone else has gotten any of the diatone models in the chat. My friend Ryan was just mentioning when he can't wait because he's got the same diatone on the way, the Mamba stack, all that stuff, and they're impressive binding flies. They're built really well from what I can tell. I don't know if you guys have seen Drone Pool. Drone Pool was showing us his diatone 5-inch, and it's really, really cool how you can get to all the insides. You literally just unscrew two things and pull the canopy up. It's just they're really cool models, those diatones.
Yeah, they really. I had a GT 200 2017, the one that in some of my videos you'll see the golden nuts.
Yeah.
The same thing. The little cage thing lifts up and hinges. Work on it.
So you can lift up the hood and see the golden nuts.
See the
gives
golden
you access. It gives you access.
the golden nuts.
No, that's another t-shirt.
What?
Well, Nemo said that's another t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Now
Okay,
I need to make a golden nut shirt.
Okay, the gold. Okay, no, we can put it on the back of this shirt. We can that's what we can do. We can each time that we come up with a new saying, we'll have a little section of the shirt that'll have a new saying on it, and then we'll put another one here and another one here, and then we'll just keep adding to it until it gives the drone therapy saying shirt.
Hey, Parks and Tex was talking about he don't know a lot about FPV. He bought the Bebop 2 FPV package. It's pretty sweet, but what would be the next step for FPV drones?
I want to welcome Billy Kyle to the house. Billy, hey, what's going on, man? I still got your Bugs 3 Pro, by the way, and it still works great. So, thanks again for that. I know it's been like a year, but still, it's awesome. I'm going to probably oh, yeah, it still flies. And
you got to fly at the new house. You need to fly at the new house.
Yeah, well, what I want to do is I want to revisit the Bugs 3 Pro, and I want to throw the DJI Osmo action cam on it, and I want to try that rock steady, and I want to kind of show that, hey, you could pick up a drone like that, and if you've got that action camera, the footage might be pretty boss. I bet you it'll come out pretty cool, because the Bugs shakes and moves like crazy, but some of these action cameras, I think Ron had put a video up not too long ago showing how the steady of the GoPro is just amazing. So I can't wait to try the Osmo action on it.
Now referring to, I put the Hero 7 on that.
Hero 7.
What's that? What's the older big drone that Mike Birdman sent me? The big Solo. Remember 3DR Solo?
3DR, yeah.
And of course, I just got the drone. I didn't get the camera. I didn't get the gimbal or anything. But it has a GoPro mount at the bottom, so I threw that Hero 7 on. I took it up, and it was as steady as could be. And I mean, of course, it didn't have any access control, so it actually looked like I was flying one of your racing drones because of the way or whatever. It looked like even though I had this big monstrous drone, it flew. The video looked like I had it on a racing drone, but it was just like the racing drones. The videos were all stable. This is real stable. It just rolled back and forth. I heard no, but it was no jello. Hey, Bill, speaking of mods and stuff like that, we had Bryan Singleton on Xeno Nation Monday night, and he was talking about modding his Insta361X camera, which is a 360 surround camera, on top of his Mavic Pro Classic. Well, he did it. He must have did it the next day, and I had done it last summer, so we talked about it a little bit. And he said he only got like 8 satellites, so he could fly a GPS, but it wasn't locked in real good. He didn't take it too far, but it was kind of interesting to watch this video because you could spin it all around. If anybody's interested in something like that, go over to the True Drone Reviews and watch his flight. I think he posted the video maybe yesterday or last night, but it's kind of interesting. So thank you, Bryan.
Another quick shout out into the chat. Steve Carpenter came in, wanted to say hi. He was listening to us while he was driving. And Billy asked you, John, didn't you get to fly while you were in New Jersey with the Bugs 3 Pro? No,
Billy was saying that I didn't get to fly with him while I was in New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, I regret that, man. I had so much stuff going on with all my classes that I was finishing up at the time and planning my move to here. I didn't get the time to do much of anything. Maybe one day, because I'll go to Jersey for sure. Now that I've got this whole house settled, and definitely will fly there sometime. So maybe we'll meet up at some point and do something. Yeah, sorry about that, man. He wanted me to plan something to go fly together, and I just never got around to it. My whole life, and like just the last 8 months has been just like whoosh. I mean, I moved from Jersey to here, and then I got a house, and all this stuff has just happened. It's been just wild, and this has been a big year for me.
Well, but the thing about it is life hasn't stopped yet. There's still potential for you to do this in the future, and you got that big new house. So yes, it just didn't work out in the cards this time. And I wanted to say, Curtis Dart says he's going to check out because of the pandemonium, I guess, in the chat. Not sure for sure or not. But glad to have everybody here. Everybody talking and chatting and being therapeutic and venting.
And this is the part where the phone rings.
Yes, this is that time of night when
it rings every time.
Yeah. Well, because this is the exact time that the computer calls to tell us when the rides are set. So because
Oh.
each day they all have activities that they go to. So my wife has to get and program all this stuff up to get them when they're going to go, when they're going to get picked up, all this stuff. So at 6:30 every day they call, and this is usually I have to confirm all of it. But on Wednesdays she takes the phone so that I don't have to do it, and I get to hang out and play with you guys. So,
hey, Bill, can I make a plug here?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Okay, this coming Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have on Zeno Nation, we're going to have Al Duran. His YouTube channel is Duranify. He was a guest on our first episode, and Al's going to talk about the Zeno. He's done all the updates. Plus, Al recently just picked up the FIMI X8, and his most recent video, he takes them both, does a range test on both of them. The same location. He shows which one goes farther, which one has better battery life. But he's going to be on Monday night. We're going to talk about the Zeno, the FIMI X8, and Marcus has both drones too. So it's going to be a great show. Al's very knowledgeable. He takes a very cinematic video, even with his budget drones like the Zeno and the FIMI. So if you're interested in any of those drones at all, stop by, see us Monday night. So back to Bill.
Hey, and it's always fun, good place to hang out. And they're always kind of, because they're always looking into these new drones. And I don't really want to call them toys anymore, especially the Zeno, because they've made some serious advances with the firmware and stuff with that little drone. And to be a sub $300 drone now, it's actually a quality product, and their support's actually there for the drone, which I'm glad to see. And again, like I said, everybody apparently is just trying to vent in the chat here. So sorry for all this.
I actually have to stop because if I look at the chat, I just got my phone set down. I'm trying to pay attention to the chat, but it's almost counterproductive.
World War III is broken out in the chat room, but
this may be this is the best show in history.
It's drone
out here on
this is my housewarming party. This is what happens.
There you go.
Everybody's been drinking too much punch.
This is my housewarming party.
There's only one burrito left, and the phone rings. It's Pizza Hut. The card's been declined.
John,
I just can't. Yes, Ron, what's up?
Ethan, no, it's not. They're okay. This is like a personal thing, in case you haven't noticed. We're just going to let them write it out. And Ethan, you haven't gotten with us anyway about live streaming. So we're talking to you now, Ethan. We're not watching the chat. They're dealing with that. That's okay. That's what drone therapy is for. We can do multiple things at once here. We've got multiple counselors that can deal with multiple issues at once. We can type and counsel. We can talk and counsel. We can pretend we don't even know what's going on and let them do it. But the whole point is, as you told us, Ethan, you were going to come on and live stream, and you haven't yet.
We need Ethan on here. Ethan's great. We need Ethan to come on and talk about the Parrot and Alfie.
My phone rings again. All right.
I think KwadFather has something he needs to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah, let's hear from KwadFather. Oh, wait. Ron was going to say something first, though.
It's not that important. Let KwadFather go first.
Okay.
All right, Bryan.
And back to you, Nemo.
And back to Ron.
Okay. John sat in on our show Monday night, Zeno Nation, where Bryan Singleton talked about the new FIMI, the A3. That's our budget price camera drone, which now sells for only $229 on Banggood and many other sites, I'm going to say. And it's an impressive drone, but John sent me a couple of videos. It looks like they may have a little issue with their 2-axis gimbal keeping it steady at certain times. John, you want to expand on what I just said?
Yeah, I was pretty close to wanting to pull the trigger on it myself, because the FIMI A3 is really attractive because, at $229, that's not really that much money, if something were to happen to it or whatever. But at the same point in time, you got the 1080p video, and it's 5.8 gigahertz. It's analog. That would mean that I could get video to my Fat Sharks, and it was just really, really cool. But as I started watching some of the reviews and seeing the footage of this thing, I didn't know that the FIMI A3 had some kind of electronic stabilization mixed in with the mechanical. And you can very clearly see vibrations and jello, and these are even on some more recent reviews of it. So I can't even say that, yeah, these are firmware issues that were resolved. So I just couldn't pull the trigger for that reason. You know, I already have a Spark, and I saw some comparisons of the Spark's video versus the FIMI A3's video side by side, and you could just clearly see the Spark. The Spark was way better, and it didn't have the jello issues that the FIMI A3 had. I mean, if someone's just completely brand new to quads and is wanting a drone like that to fart around with, 229 is really not too bad. But for someone like me who already has a Spark, or if you can get the Spark cheap, I don't think it's worth it. I really don't.
Hey, John, let me ask you on these the review videos, had these people slowed the yaw down to help with that stability issue? Because as you said, it's a 2-axis gimbal, and the 3rd axis is electronic stabilization, which the Spark and like the Anafi 2 have the same thing. They have 2 axes, with the 3rd axis being electronic stabilization. But I know, like the Anafi out of the box, they slow the yaw down so much on that thing that helps keep it stable. I'm wondering if you took the A3, if you slowed the yaw down, way down, like 20-25%, if you could smooth that out a little bit.
You know what? I don't know. What was bothering me though is even when the videos where I saw the FIMI A3 was just standing there and there was no movement of the quad, I could see the electronic stabilization causing some kind of bumping. And you would think, and you would be like, why would that happen? Especially if it's not even being moved. But there's just something up with it. I wasn't too impressed with that. I also don't think a lot of reviewers made a big deal about it either, when I felt like it's so noticeable. How can you ignore it?
Did you see what Billy said something about? He said he saw a big racing drone with a point and shoot camera. Okay, I'm trying to figure, are you talking about like a DSLR or what?
No.
Yeah, what's he talking about?
The point and shoots, the cameras they don't make anymore, like they're, the lens is built into the camera. You don't change you don't take the lens off. That's a point and shoot.
Oh, okay.
But they were popular until cell phones were invented.
Yeah.
Like an old Kodak camera or something?
Yeah.
So how are you going to trigger the camera?
Well,
yeah, I was wondering the same thing. I guess you could start recording before you fly.
Yeah, just hit the play button. That's how you do it with a GoPro. Most of the time, you put on your Bugs 3, you turn the play button on, and you set it up, right, John?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I would be scared to put but then again, some of the point and shoot cameras can be pretty damn cheap, especially it depends on the model. One like the GX, man, I can't remember what it's called now.
Yeah.
So, something I wanted to ask about, like, okay, the couple of videos, like I did another slow-mo video. I don't know if you all saw it, but it's on my personal Facebook page of my grandson kind of just playing around in the water, and it's from the action, and it's at 8 times. But they just did that firmware update that supposedly, I don't know, maximizes slow-mo or whatever. But I've noticed it seems like they've just like darkened the video right off the bat, like 2 or 3 steps. So I haven't tried it since then, but I did notice that when I shot the bucket drops, that like the lighting in the ceiling was blowing out a lot of noise. And so it looks really, the video itself is cool. But where I had everything on the auto settings, it kind of wasn't as crisp as it could have been, I guess.
All right, guys. Hey, Billy just dropped a link to that little drone, so I figure we could all kind of try to watch it together. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Okay.
So that's it. It's got a pretty big freaking camera on it.
Oh, it's got a nice sound to it, too. Oh, it's a big drone.
Yeah, right?
What is that? A 5-inch Nemo?
I'll go back to the beginning of the video.
It looks like an X-Class.
Yeah, it looks. I'm trying to see if you put the specs in the comments. He calls it. This is from my drone gossip, and I guess it's one of Beverly Hills Aerial's many made custom drones. This one is codenamed the BHA Demon. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sure.
You guys need to get a demon.
I have many.
I would love to see the specs of that thing. Definitely something to look at later.
So, Brian, did you ever catch that mosquito?
No, but you know what I did find?
What?
I did find out that Fat Shark has come out with a few new models lately.
Very cool. What would you like to tell us about them?
Well, they've always had their, I don't even remember the name, the entry-level box goggle that didn't have diversity. It did not have DVR. Now I saw the new one that they come out with has a built-in patch on the front with diversity, but I'm pretty sure it was a, plus $200 set of goggles for box goggles. But
and they released a lower model that doesn't have diversity. It just has a single antenna, and it's like $80, I believe.
I think so. Yeah, you're right. No diversity.
Yeah, on the one. Then they have a model above that has the patch built in and stuff like that, DVR, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Do you guys prefer box goggles?
If I had the money, I would have a set of HDOs, but my wallet doesn't allow it. So box goggles are the best I can get because they are really good goggles. The FXT goggles, they're just a great goggle. I mean, whether they're box goggles or not, the resolution is there, the screen size, the field of view. Their DVR is notorious to be fantastic, and
Hey, KwadFather, you know what's good, though? At least the prices of these goggles are coming down, per se. Like that new Attitude V5, man, where you get the receiver and everything all in one. And I know there's probably going to be sales on that thing. I could see even possibly being able to get that thing for like $270 in like a 5% off sale or something.
Well, they're also rocking
an attractive goggle.
Yeah, well, they have the OLED screens, which is just like the HD, smaller field of view than the HDOs. I think it's 37-degree field of view, Nemo? I think it's 37, new green.
36, 37. Yeah, that's a good deal. They got the diversity built in. You can change it out if you wanted to go rapid fire, which I'd recommend, but that's a good deal. It comes with 2 antennas, a patch,
for the price, I'm hearing that the new Skyzone O2 S's or whatever are even better, even though they have a lower resolution screen. People are saying that the screen looks better compared to the Fat Sharks. But
I haven't heard that.
Yes, that's his preference.
Of course, I've got the HCO, so I'll look at reviews for the this other models that come out because I'm just interested in them. But
I think the thing that's going to hurt the new Fat Shark, the size, is the field of view. That's kind of the minimum that is acceptable to fly through. That's a very small field of view, and I think the fact that the Sky Zones have a larger field of view, it kind of
But you're going to sacrifice field of view versus the OLED screen. So
I gave her one at 430.
True.
Do another one at 830.
You know what though? I fly the Dom V3s, and those are only a 30-degree field of view. And
they're a 30.
They're only a 30-degree field of view, man. I fly Dom V3s, so I think you're going to be fine.
Did you ever see the original Eachine EV100s, the white ones that had fake diversity?
It had a ridiculous field of view, didn't it? It was
tiny. I mean, it looked like you were looking at a TV off in the distance.
I know I've never had those on my face, but I did have in a ready-to-fly kit that was sent back to Horizon Hobby years ago. It was the Nano QX FPV kit, and they included these Fat Shark teleporters, and the FOV was something like 18 or 15.
I have a set of those.
Like, I don't know who they were made for. Certainly couldn't see it.
Yeah, it's tiny. It's tiny. I went to that from the Eachine 007 Pro. That was my first goggles, and they were box, and I was like, I have to have Fat Sharks, and I upgraded to those, and I was like, man, it's like flying down a hallway.
I'm sorry, I was caught up in chat. I was watching that last burn, man, as Billy walked out the door, and I was just like, ooh.
Something that I have recently found convenient on the Viper FXT Viper goggles is they give you a little bit of a video RSSI, if you will, of each one of your channels, how strong your channel is receiving, and it was that was allowed me to diagnose a bad antenna, because I would keep switching it out, and if I wouldn't have had that number system telling me, I would have never saw it, and that was very beneficial.
They have that in the rapid fire module as well.
Just a quick, I want to jump back in the chat really quick. Sleeping Bear, thank you for coming in. Sorry I hadn't gotten you a wrench sooner. I've noticed a lot of channels that will tend to give wrenches out right and left, and then you'll have an instance where, somebody will get mad, and then they'll, but again, I just wanted to tell everybody, we're here to listen to your rants and raves. It was interesting seeing what was going on in the chat tonight. It was fun and kind of joking sometimes, but
you act like it's over. It's not over.
Well, I'm not saying that it's over or any of this stuff. That's their thing, but I say this every time. For me, drones are a good thing. They're therapeutic. Mm-hmm. And like I said, if we were all in a field and we all had charged batteries and we all had multiple drones to fly, there would not be any of this animosity. Everybody would just be flying. And if something broke down, I guarantee you people will be helping each other to get back.
I don't believe that at all. You can believe that if you want, but I don't believe that. Oh,
you mean amongst those three?
No, yeah, I don't. I think there will be some dog fighting. That's what I think.
Well, I was just trying to lighten the moment, because apparently I don't know if it was like, okay, we're gonna go raid the chat and see what goes on, or but we were all trying to pick out subject here and there, and I was actually gonna bring up the X Dynamic, or whatever, that drone that wasn't quite cooked, and I thought that they planned on putting it back in the oven and they were going to come out with it again later.
Speaking of the X Dynamics, I mean, I don't know. Does anyone actually care about that company anymore? I mean, I thought that everyone pretty much realized that their drone was a piece of crap, and for them to even send a drone like that out to reviewers was
no, man. I heard that there was an article released just yesterday. It's the Karma.
Oh, really?
2. Yeah, it's the X Dynamics Karma 2.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got it in order.
Yeah.
Oh, man, we got rumors here on the show right now.
True rumors.
So you could see.
No,
I was going to say
it's not a rumor. It's not a rumor. I'm just hoping.
Just hoping. Well, I've got news for you. That has been canceled because the consumer drone market is dead.
Yes.
All you guys in the chat, you're done. That's it. 2 years, it's over.
That's what I'm saying, man.
And we're all screwed.
Okay, well, I'm just, let's be obvious. Okay, where are we going to fit into the delivery drone air highway?
What do you mean we?
Oh, we is going to be included in that wee Bob, because they're going to fly over your little private little field to get to point A and point B, and your little FPV is going to intersect said area.
Ha.
We must create stealth technology for our drones. We must make them invisible to radar.
That's why I like the FPV community, because really, I mean, it's just a matter of, I mean, I know it's not, the things that some people do in FPV are not entirely legal. They don't really follow the rules. I think that's part of the reason why it attracted me from.
Yeah.
That's part of the attraction is like, we're the rebels. We're going to fly. We're going to go do whatever and blah, blah, blah. And Even though it's not right, it's against the law, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? In the mornings, I speed when I go to work. Don't tell nobody.
You just told everyone on YouTube.
All right, that's it. Go directly to jail. Don't collect $200. That's it.
I have like 5 subscribers. I'm good.
Hey, John.
No, you make a good point though, because how many people with all the FAA rules, laws, whatever, like how many people can truly say that they follow them to a T? I mean, about as many that follow the speed limit on a daily basis. And you know what? Being safe doesn't always mean following every rule all the time. And being legal doesn't mean being safe either. I think a lot of people tend to forget that just because what you're doing may be legal doesn't even mean that it's safe. Like those guidelines are those laws, rules, they're not gospel either. It's like you're saying, Nemo, if you're flying in the middle of a golf course out in the middle of nowhere, like how is that really hurting anybody? It's not.
Oh, I was just Steve Carpenter put it in for the drone spin up. Just letting everybody know, please check that out again. Like I was talking about earlier, it's just, I'd love to go. Maybe I'll figure out some way. I don't know. A GoFundMe or something crazy like that.
Thanks for the link, Steve. I'm going, Steve. I'll come to the Xeno Nation booth, please.
And then it said, and Rick Halber came in and said, must have been a good one. He's putting in his pre-order for his new Karma. So, so that was pretty cool.
The Karma 2. Wow.
Yeah.
Tell us how that one is.
Made by X Dynamics, and it has a humongous controller.
I can't wait for that. Maybe that means DJI is going to reactivate the Spark 2 plans.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, they're waiting on this.
Well, they're indefinitely suspended. So,
hey, John, you want to play a game?
Sure, let's play a game.
We played this the other night. You were whatever show I did this when you were there. We said top 5 drones, but now we're with the panel we have here. It's top 5 FPV drones.
Ooh, interesting.
And
okay, so I guess I'll start.
5 the other night, John. That's why I went to you first, but I want Nemo, Bryan, everybody else to chime in. But you did a good 5 the other night on camera drones.
Okay, so this is for the FPV bind and fly racers, right?
It could be tiny whoops. It could be 5 inches. Anything you want.
So this is really hard, especially because right now at the top of my list is my build, but that's not a bind and fly. You know what I mean?
At least one of them has to be a whoop. At least one of them has to be a tiny whoop.
At least one of them has to be a whoop. All right, so let me just think out of all the bind and flies. So I guess but to put number 1, it would be the Hawk 5. Still flies freaking awesome. Even today, just have to change that video transmitter. Number 2.
Throw the prices out too. Is that affordable or?
Yeah, it's very affordable. I mean, you can get it under $200 right now at Hawk 5.
Nice.
Let's see. So number 2 would probably have to be, what would it be?
And chat room, throw your top 5 up too while we're going along.
Oh, and yeah, see something else in the chat room. Above and Beyond, were you talking about spin up from last year? They were saying it was only 5 hours long or something. I thought it was actually a couple of days.
I don't know if I could put number 2 of the diet. I really like this diatone already. I mean, I haven't spent a lot of time with it, but I can tell this is probably going to end up being my number 2 drone. I mean, look at how small it is. The profile. This is something you could pretty much fly anywhere, and nobody's going to say anything to you, honestly, unless they really want to give you a hard time.
How much?
Diatone's making some good stuff, so we'll say that this is my number 2. The Diatone are 3-inch. Number 3, Whoop. Let's pick a Whoop. Mobile 7. I don't have one, but I would love to get the Mobile 7. That's a pretty sweet Whoop. Number 4, I feel like the Cinebees. I would love to get one of those iFlight Cinebees, the 4K. That's pretty sweet. And number 5, I'm hoping that Sailfly X. Sailfly X looks really sweet. That's that toothpick stuff that people were talking about. So I'm curious to see what you guys think.
Bryan,
I would agree with every bit of that, except for when I think of a traditional whoop, I don't know. My heart is brushed. I mean, I know it's not as good as a brushless motor, but my heart for a Whoop is brushed. And I feel that the B-Brain Light or the Alien Whoop. Now, as far as binding flies, I'm in love with my Gep RC, man. My Gep RC Elegant with XH5, I believe it is. They come with 2306, 2450 kV, I think it is. The stack is a Span F4 tower. I get 700 milliwatts, if I'm not mistaken, 700 or 800 milliwatts, and it retails at $249 when I purchased it. And it comes with everything, even a XM Plus receiver.
Nice.
My list would be number one would be a Eachine Wizard.
No way, man. Get out of here.
I've always wanted a wizard, man.
Throw him overboard.
I actually really don't. The only binding flies I've got are Whoops, and the last binding fly I got was a Mobula 7, and it's great. I mean, I broke the frame within the first hour, so I transferred it all to a 65 millimeter brushed Beta FPV. I like to build. I don't really. To me, that's the biggest part of the hobby for me is building. A lot of people don't feel that way, and that's great. But I am a builder. I like tinkering, figuring it out, blowing stuff up, shorting batteries out. That's kind of what I like to do. So, binding fly, I don't really. The only binding fly I've ever had was the Eachine, and it was terrible. I still have nightmares about that.
I have to show love to the binding flies. I know it's not the preferred way to get into the hobby, but it did get me, because I transitioned from a GPS camera bird, the Autel X-Star Premium. So that barrier to entry wasn't as high. I think, getting over the stress of, well, I don't know what to build. I don't know what to buy. I don't know what I need, and it's just it was all laid out for me. And you've seen them and you've flown them, they're especially the Elegant. It's tuned right out of the box. I mean, you can feel, when we feel the motors, it's just they're great. They've done a job.
Works. It flies. It does good.
Yeah.
It stays in the air. So,
Nemo, the question: how long do these builds typically take?
I can build one probably if I have all the stuff, about maybe 2-3 hours.
Okay. Nice.
I mean, not before. Before it would take me forever because I had to find a YouTube video on what do I solder, what goes here, how do I do this, how do I do that. So, but once you get a basic idea, it's really not that hard.
And thank you, Steve Carpenter. Steve's going to go eat some dinner. Thank you for dropping in. Johnny Drumfire saying a duck is a duck is a duck.
Quack, quack.
Yeah, so. And with that being said, we've been on for an hour and a half, and I figured it was about time because I know Ron's got some stuff to do. I know Nemo's probably got to go to work tomorrow, and we all had a good time tonight. And hopefully we'll do something. Like I said, is there anybody that you all would like to get on? Is there anybody out there that's still watching us that would like to come on with us? We're trying to get some, new and interesting people in here. I just thought that it would be really cool to get Jeff in here with you guys if it was available at all. If not, we'll just come back and do another crazy drone chat next week. But hopefully not quite as much. Hopefully not as much pandemonium in the chat as we had this week. Because I'm not trying to be disruptive to anybody, but if they want to come in every week just to do that, then we'll just have to go ahead and. Because, there were some people that were making it clear that it was bothering them, and so they left. But, the whole point was we went ahead with the show. We kept it going. We didn't just – and everybody got to see how those individuals acted in the chat. So you decide how you want to support your people by the way they act, and you can see how they act. I'm not trying to bust anybody's backside, but – that was obviously something personal, and I just figured let them air it out. That's what we're here for. You know, I don't see that there's anything bad in people that you should not want to forgive them at some point in time. But I don't understand the weird little personal thing there. I've had my own issues with people before, and I've realized it's just petty. We're all mortal, and we just need to live and get along. Even though y'all make jokes about us flying together in a field, I still want to do the kumbaya thing. So
Hey.
I'll just briefly say this, Bill. I think that maybe some people just take things a little too far. And, you know, they have the old saying that goes, once you've said something, it's really hard to unsay it, even after you say you're sorry. So it's probably some of it is that.
Well, the whole point is words are one thing, and they're always going to be just that, words. I think that all of us here in this community always try to support each other, and there's too much. I've not seen anybody that I know that I've personally watched through the years that has become some huge mega TV star. Yes,
Yep,
they've carved out their tiny little niche, which is great if that's what they want. I'm here because I love drones. I love talking about drones. I love hanging out with guys and girls that like talking about drones. I like flying them when I get the chance. You know, I like insight about technology and stuff. And it seems like the people that fly drones and do this stuff are those kind of people. And that's why I like coming on here and talking to people and talking about drones and stuff. I was that guy like a year ago that at the drop of a hat, I'd get mad about something. Yeah, I still get mad about stuff, but I'll vent for about 5 minutes and I'm fine. Whereas before, I kept hoping to hold these grudges. And then I realized that I'd go fly and it'd all go away. So I just got to remember, hey, you know, sooner or later, I'm going to get to fly again. So I don't need to be pissed off right now. So I'm trying to do that. And it would be valuable to all of us.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. I mean, unfortunately, like I said, there are some people that don't necessarily have that attitude. So it's really a person-to-person kind of thing.
Yeah,
Well,
and
you know, I got a good idea.
All right.
Fight Club. Let's just put some sparring equipment on. And then when we're done, everybody hug it out, bro it out, and then we're good.
Go to the field, as you say.
Yeah,
Let's go to the field.
But how are we going to? What about weight classes?
The first
weight classes.
the first rule of FPV or quad flight is you don't talk about it.
You don't talk about it.
And the second rule is you don't talk about it.
Wait. Parks and Tech says that he has 25 subscribers.
Nice.
And he has 26 subscribers. So
Nice.
anybody, I'm copying this now. We'll come back over here and we'll put this in here. So if you aren't already subscribed to Parks and Tech, please subscribe to Parks and Tech and maybe we can get him to 30. We have 18 people watching. So maybe there's 4 people in here that haven't already subscribed to Parks and Tech. Granted, I know I'm not the Canadian Drone Hub or Pusa Studios, but it's cool. That's the whole thing. I love for you to check out the links. I'd love for you to buy t-shirts from us. That would be great. But if you don't, that's cool too. If you don't watch all my videos, if you don't give everything a thumbs up, I'm not going to get pissed. I'm not going to be mad if you don't think I'm the brightest drone guy on the planet. There's a lot of stuff I don't know, and I learn stuff every week, and that's why I'm here.
I wanted to take a minute since we were talking about plugs for channels here. I promised my my stepdaughter Anna that I would plug her channel tonight on the show. It's not a drone channel, but it would really mean a lot to her if some of you guys clicked her channel and subscribe, because she's trying to get to 200 subscribers. I think she's sitting at 174 right now, and it would just tickle her to reach 200 subscribers. So I told her I would give her a shout out. I put the link down there below, and yeah, I mean, she'll be really happy if she saw a whole bunch of subscribers come on.
She's at 175 now.
You don't have to hit the bell or nothing. Just click subscribe. It would be really cool if some of you guys could do that.
Well, see, that's another thing too that goes back to this community. They're all supportive and everything, but I wouldn't even want to estimate how many different drone channels there are on YouTube, and there's no way on God's green earth, you're going to watch everybody's video every time they put one out. But too many people, it seems like, especially if you're in contact with them a lot, that if you don't go to their channel and watch every video they put out, every single time they release one, they get upset. And like, I'm always trying to find new people that I haven't watched before. That's the whole purpose of this, is to get more and more, positive influence into the hobby. And that's why I do this each week. That, and to learn from these cool people. And I still haven't put the 5-inch together, and we need to do that one week, maybe.
Yeah, it's really hard to catch up with everybody all the time. I try my best to support the channels that I do, but like, hey, I work from home, Bill, you work from home. And so sometimes I feel like people are like, you're on a computer all the time. Okay, but just because we're on a computer, we're taking care of business. It doesn't mean we could be on YouTube all day long. And it's really hard to fully support and watch everybody 100%. I would have to be on YouTube all day long, but we try our best. And I think most people do. They try their best to support everybody. Rick Halliburton just said he got her. Thanks a lot, Rick.
I got her.
Really
I got
appreciate
her
that. Thanks, man. That's
cool. Ethan came back. Oh, but you should watch all of mine. Well, if you'll come on, hey, I tell you what, you want to come on next week as a guest and live stream with us? Watch him. He'll be like, what? My internet gave out. I can't. Well, signal fading.
Hey, Bill,
here, I'm gonna subscribe to. Oh, wait a second. Here's a cool channel, and he's my flying buddy. Oh wait, I'm already subscribed. I didn't realize that was KwadFather's channel name.
Ron.
Bill, I want to give a shout out to Parks and Tech. He's got a great channel. He's always in the chats for most of the shows I'm on. So I know you already shout him out, but I want to say he's a real good guy, and please go and sub the station. He's got a Xeno too. That's a plus, Bill. He flies a Xeno.
Very cool, and I would like.
I didn't have Above and Beyond drones. I just got them now. It looks like they've got some interesting videos here. They got a Saturday morning sunrise in Palm Bay, Florida, and it looks like an absolutely beautiful video, dude. So really great clouds in there. So check them out.
Hey, here's an idea. How about we do like a favorite video of a week, like just like say, hey, this is because that. You showing that, all right, I'll shut up.
No, you're perfectly.
No, go ahead, dude.
That's great.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, kind of like a spotlight.
Yeah, that's part of why I would like to use like Streamlabs or something like that, so we can rack up a video and just switch over and have it playing while we're talking about it, and it's streaming and so forth and so on. But I wanted to go back into the chat and say, hello, Cardoso Media, and it's okay that you're a little late. We're glad that you showed up. And of course, Ethan, it's perfectly fine that you'll be in Costa Rica next week, and maybe we can work something out sooner or later. Okay. All right, I sure will, bud. We'll get something worked out, because we're going to get in. Now, I'm going to tell you something, Ethan. If you come on here, you might as well get prepared, because you're going to go into the circuit that way, because you're going to get passed from drone show to drone show once you get to starting your streaming. So, and here, Kenny, that's something. Back when Ken and Billy were still streaming with me, you were going to come on and be a guest. So I'm still kind of wondering, did you ever get the setup so that you could stream? So
anybody doesn't follow Cardoso Media, please sub his channel. He puts some cinematic videos up, not just drones. He does cameras. He does these short, beautiful cinematic videos. Sub his station. You won't regret it.
Broad Reach Pro at Gmail. Right? Is that what that says? Y'all read that? Help me out there. Is that what that says?
I don't.
For Ethan's email?
Yeah, I don't know where the hell he posted it. I don't see it.
I don't see it.
Okay. Anyway,
I'm not seeing it.
I think that's what he said.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, Broad Reach Pro.
Yeah. Okay. At Gmail. That's Kenny. The whole point is Ethan's never streamed either.
Easier.
Either I
Ethan's
just
never streamed either.
There was
I've
another
never
t-shirt.
I've never spoke English before tonight. But you know, hey. So anyway, easier. We've added another section to the shirt.
Yes.
Easier.
Either.
Okay. Your upload is terrible. Tried to stream once. It was laggy as hell.
I've been there,
Oh,
Cardoso Media.
yeah.
Been there, done that.
Add another hamster.
There's not enough hamsters that can make DSL go faster.
Yeah.
You would need so many hamsters that the poop would just be unbearable.
He has a Blackmagic mini recorder that always disconnects from the computer when he's doing test streams.
I've never heard of that one
Neither
before.
have I. What is this? Palladian scientist UFO builder. I hope I said that correctly. So I just wanted to see if I said that properly. I hope I did. If not, please give me the grammatical, maybe, like you see it in the dictionary, and I'll try to say it right. Or maybe you can come on and be a guest and say it, and we don't have to worry about it. And then I can say it proper from that point on. I don't know.
The phonetical spelling.
I'm getting like labored lips now. They're like, blah, 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 blah.
Labored. Did you say labored lips?
Labored lips.
Oh yeah, man. Okay, so see, 6 down and 0.5 up. Literally 2 tin cans and a string. Yeah,
Everybody hit that like button for labored lips if you haven't
That's
already.
that's not even DSL, man.
His lips have been flapping all night long. They're really tired. So give him some thumbs up for those labored lips. 0.5 up, dude. Oh my God. Yeah, I feel you on that one. I had to deal with 0.8 up for a long time.
Oh, and Ethan's back asking, do we think DJI delaying the Spark 2 is a good sign or a bad sign?
Ethan, don't open this can of worms again.
Go there.
We dove into that one again.
You'll have to watch the replay.
I personally, I still think we've decided that we're no longer going to call them rumors. It's just wishful thinking. So I am wishfully thinking that there might be a Spark 2 in our future, but that's just me. Or if there's not one in our near future, then all drones are going to die within 2 years.
One or the other. No,
All
nothing.
drones dying in 2 years.
Except the
Not that
evolve will keep going because it will evolve into something more than a drone.
Apologies to Build a Drone Reviewer, by the way. I was saying all drones dying in 2 years. Got that coming up.
Yeah, we're okay. Now this goes in line with something that Bryan and Nemo are going to do together. They're gonna, and we don't want people to take offense to it. We're not trying to bust people down or anything. If we pick at you, we're not trying to say we don't support you or anything in any way. Because we love every drone person out there, and we support you. Even if you don't like us, that's fine, because that's what drone therapy is for. Is for everybody to work through all these emotions and stuff and realize that drones are beneficial to all of us.
Well said.
Very well said.
I heard drones are horrible. They shut down airports. People are spying people's windows with them. They're just terrible. That's what I've heard.
All live.
Show
I
me.
think I have one following me.
Show me where on the drone he touched you. Where did he touch you on the drone? Show me.
RD says, I think the toy drone market has hit a wall. I think so too.
Yeah, and then because the toys don't have the fascination that they did anymore, because there's even this little guy with optical flow on the bottom. People are how many people now are like, toy drones need to have optical flow. I mean, 2 years ago, altitude hold was a joke. We were all like, you don't want altitude hold on a drone. And now it's like standard because they've got it dialed in pretty good now. You don't have near as many flyaways, but you've got drones getting more sophisticated with brush drones with GPS and optical flow, and they've evolved. There's not so much a little trinkety toy anymore.
Speaking of flyaways, Ryan was just commenting. He said that his dad nearly had a total disaster today flying the Unique 3s. It got 3 feet up off the ground, and his dad said he wasn't able to control the damn thing, and it just flew across the street and ended up in like a Walmart parking lot. It was, and then it just landed there. But I don't know, he didn't have control of it or something. It was a little flyaway situation there.
Oh, did you say a Walmart parking lot?
Walmart park. Yeah, I think it was a Walmart parking lot.
What a coincidence.
What?
Did it land on the drone shelf at Walmart, maybe?
Yeah, it came back home.
Wait a minute. We all fly and have fun doing it. We might drink too, just not at the same time.
Okay, Ryan's giving more details. I didn't want to give all the details, but he said it crossed a massive busy street. Yeah, when I said it crossed the street, this was a busy highway, and thank God it just decided to land in the parking lot, not in the middle of the street. Okay,
Wow.
Coopers. He's being more specific now.
Is this in New Jersey? It happened?
This was in Colorado, I believe, right, Ryan? Something like that. Crossed a 4-lane street at 3 feet. Oh man, that's the most horrifying thing I can think of.
That sounds like Frogger.
Yeah, right.
So
wow, the GPS is off.
Did you have to change your shorts after that flight?
Bryan, have you ever had a flight like that?
Oh, absolutely. A long time ago, I had a ProMark, a Walmart ProMark.
ProMark.
Yeah,
Walmart.
I took it up and I got it caught in some wind, and the first little rate wasn't enough to compensate for the wind, so it just pushed me right into a tree, and it kind of flew away on its own, but it stayed where it was.
I tell you what, I have a funny story from when I was in Jersey. This happened by my parents' house. I was trying to show my neighbor my Blade Chroma, which coincidentally is also made by Unique. This was basically my fault, but I had taken off more or less underneath where a tree was, and I flew out. Well, I wasn't paying attention to my battery life, and it decided to do its return to home. And it returned to home right into that tree, and there was nothing I could do to stop it because the Blade Chroma didn't have any override. So all I could do was watch it come down, eat the tree branches, and then the motors cut off, and it just splattered to the ground in pieces. My neighbor was just like, he's like, "Was it my fault? Did I say something to call?" I'm like, "No, dude." I'm like, I just screwed up so bad. And I was telling him, this thing is so cool. It's got all these great features. And I just wreck it right in front of him. It was probably the most embarrassing thing ever to have to pick up the pieces. Oh, my God.
So someone said that toy drones have hit a wall. Is that correct?
Yes.
I know KwadFather has hit a wall before. KwadFather, would you like to speak about that?
It turns out that when you hit brick, it gets mad and it likes to claim your camera, your frame, your VTX.
Isn't that that's on your channel, isn't it? You actually have that on your channel?
Yes, but it was actually one of my first videos, and I was flying an old Speedix with a Naze 32. So a combination of my lack of horrible flying skills mixed with that flight controller. When I go back and watch it, it's just it's hard to watch.
But we say toys, aren't they all kind of toys? I mean, some are more expensive than others.
Yeah, they're just adult toys.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh.
I just kind of had an epiphany while all this conversation was going on that we need to create something, and we need to call it Quadcopters Anonymous, and we can say, yes, my name is Bill, and I'm addicted to quadcopters. And there's no way in hell I'm going to stop anytime soon.
I am.
Bill, in 2 years, are you gonna be here when like we have to be underground? You gotta promise to be here.
And I'm still gonna whoop every episode, or not whoop, but I'm gonna fly something every episode.
Hell yeah!
And then it'll be a live stream, and they'll be pulling me out on cam.
They can to the people. They can pry these from my cold dead hands. I am not gonna give up flying this stuff.
Oh, that's a new T-shirt. That's a new T-shirt.
Never surrender.
Never surrender.
You need to have. That's what we need to have. Just like a vector graphic of somebody holding the frame. You'll never pry this from my hands. One of them things.
Yeah, RT said he was scared for his dad. This was only his second flight ever, and this happened. I can't imagine that happening on my second drone flight ever. It flies across the freeway, and you have no control.
Yeah,
it's just wild.
Hey, Bill, let's do a whole show sometime of people's worst flights of all time.
Oh yeah, but we'll try to do like Nemo was saying. We'll have like a video of the week. So anybody that's here, anybody that watches the replay, I say this every week. Please feel free to get in touch with any one of us. We're glad to anybody that's interested in coming on and has a subject to talk about, or anybody that they know would like to come on. Please feel free to get in touch with us. Any news information, pretty much, we're all open door to anybody that wants to talk to us.
On that note, Bill, I'm gonna say my good nights here. It's going on 10:30 here on the East Coast. So I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. John, Bryan, Nemo, Bill. It's been a great show. Thanks for putting the show together, Bill. It's one of my favorite drone shows on the airwaves. It's an honor to be part of this show. And with that, I bid adieu to everybody in the chat room. We had a great group of people here tonight. It was interesting. I'm not going to go into too much more detail about the chat room
replay,
but I want to thank everybody for doing it. And good night. I will see everybody here next week.
Who are you passing to? Bryan.
I'm going to pass it to Bryan went to
Bryan had to poo, so he was ready to go. He's been telling us for like a half hour. I need to poo.
Nemo. Bryan.
Okay. I just like to thank Bill, John, Ron, as always. It's fun to come on here, shoot the poo, and learn what's going on in the other side of the hobby, which I'm still interested in, and I like to hear you guys. It's the same side. It's the same way with FPV, where people have conflicts, and they, it happens everywhere. I think it's men. I think that's what it is. It's guys. It's a man thing. We're always going to do that to each other. So everybody in the chat, thanks to people that have subscribed, and let's just continue to support each other and stay positive.
Something I wanted to ask really quick, since that was the whole purpose of the show. John, does your house feel warmer now?
Oh man, hey guys, this is great coming on here. This has been an awesome housewarming party. We had a lot of fire going on. So yeah, definitely warmer here than it was before. I want to thank you, Bill, Nemo, Bryan, Ron, everybody. This was a great show. Again, awesome housewarming party. Definitely coming back next week, and yeah, it's great to shoot. It's great to shoot the poo with you guys.
Yeah, and thanks everyone for coming on, and thanks everybody in the chat for coming in and creating such an interesting and informative evening. Because even though we had the interesting therapy session going on in personal session in chat, away from the main session that we always hold when we have the video chat going on, of course, that we still managed to get out some information. In case you didn't notice, what Billy showed us, the drone with the point and shoot camera, we got that in there. We got some good information from the other people. We do understand sometimes it's frustrating for other people, but please continue to chat if stuff like that goes on. If you notice tonight, we picked out the good stuff and let the other stuff just go by. And I'll be honest with you, I think those three people probably feel a little bit better because they got a lot of stuff off their chest tonight. So thank you again. Hope to see everybody next week. And with that, peace.
Peace.
Can I hit the button?